Okay. Getting yourselves nice and relaxed as possible. We can already feel the stress coming up because the session is about really transmuting stress. So we're going to do some nice big deep breaths in. But we're not ignoring the feeling of stress, but we're noticing it in the background as we breathe. But we're inviting the light, the breath past that, right through into the lungs. And we're just letting it fall out. And you might even notice that emotions probably come forward straight away as we start to breathe. Breath, bridge into the body, into the lungs. And again, we're just going to let it relax out. And the more and more you allow your out breath to really relax you, the more and more you're going to notice the jitteriness, the uncomfortableness in the nervous system. So let's keep doing another few big, nice breaths in. Nice, solid, beautiful breaths into the body, and then complete relaxed breaths out. Another breath out, allow it to relax through the shoulders and the back and the chest. And again, just really pulling the breath in. And the breath pull in is that invitation of breath, of energy. And we can even start to invite the light of the sun in. So as we do these beautiful big breaths, it's like I invite the light of the sun into my body. And we're going to relax again through this. It's almost like you can imagine these beams of sunlight. And as you breathe, it's like the beams can even bend into the mouth, down into the lungs. But as they enter the body, they create that swirl motion, that movement, that swirl. And if you feel into both sides of the lungs, it's like the swirl can be going in completely different directions, but coming back to meet it through the spine. And we're creating almost this vortex of light, of energy to just keep washing through the body. And we're going to open up the vortex of self. So as we create this swirling motion, inviting the breath in, the oxygen, the sunlight, the chi of the ethers that are all around us, you'll start to create almost like a vortex of space, not just through the body, but around the body. And this is going to create a beautiful space for this session. And it's as we create almost like a tornado, but it's like the tornado parts and the chaos can be all around, but in the center where you sit, where you allow your consciousness to be, it's like the blue sky above starts to part and open up. And we allow the chaos of life just to part around us. And it's the eye of the storm of your own self. And as we relax into the eye of the storm, breathing even to calm, you can start to relax this tornado of chaos around you. And it's like the clouds start to get thinner and thinner and thinner until they dissolve. And it's like the blue sky can stretch wider and vast around you. And then we can notice that right above you, your own starlight, like a sun shining down on you. And as we start to invite in our higher consciousness through our own awareness, that feeling of inviting your own soul into the body. And as you feel up into the star, there's going to be a stillness, a clarity, almost like a nothingness, but powerfulness as well. There's this essence of you beyond the nervous system, beyond any stress that could ever exist. Complete freedom, freedom from the reality, from the body, from everything. And as we allow our consciousness to connect into that essence that is within our own unique soul, start to invite that essence down as a frequency. And you can even ask above, show me that frequency that is me. Before any stresses, before this reality took an imprint upon this body, upon this life. And it's like this stillness of energy can start to come through. And it's your own unique frequency. It's nothing to do with anyone else or anything else. It's this feeling of this is me. And as we allow this really calm energy now to connect through the top, through the crown, we're going to really notice the stress in the body. And what we're going to do is we're going to allow this calming energy to start coming into the brain. And as you do a scan of your own brain, you might really feel the difference. You might even notice that you have more of a deep breath, or the breath gets shallower as you tune into different parts of your brain. So right at the front, the prefrontal cortex, wash this energy through. You might notice there's a lot of stress in there. There's a lot of tension. There's resistance to this frequency that you're inviting in. Allow the frequency you're inviting in of your own soul in its most unique, beautiful, calm frequency to keep washing through. And if you feel like you lost that frequency at any time, take your awareness back out of the body, back up to the star. Feel it. Feel the purity of that and invite it back through. And it's like we're feeling what's in the body, but we're not letting the body overtake. We're not letting the sensations of the body disturb the frequency that we're intending to come in. And we're going to wash this gently through the front of the head, through the front of the brain. And there's lots of different Brahman areas in the brain. And as we scan through, we're going to relax the front first, and we're going to gently bring it round and through. And if you need to do big breaths, if you need to just allow this to just shift. And again, we're inviting in this frequency. It's almost like stillness. It's utter balance, a harmony. How the brain, how the frequency of you should be in its most purest form. It's almost like the form before any experience is made an imprint. And we're welcoming this back in almost like as a reset. And again, you might even find it's quite hard to push it through certain areas of the brain. Allow your breath to guide you through, to be that extra push of awareness, of energy into certain areas now as we allow it to spin back through the different areas of the brain. And there's an area just to the front of the brain that's a bit lower than the prefrontal cortex, but it's a bit lower. Probably would be like between your eyes, but back in your head. So this links to our emotions. A lot of the emotions that we feel or we even create are from this area of the brain. And you might feel the emotions start to trigger in your own body as you tune into this area. And again, hold space for this area. Recognize the brain as holding on to these frequencies. They're memories, they're signals that are fired over and over and over again throughout your entire lifetime. And then even the imprint can go back further than this lifetime. It can be an imprint of safety, that imprint of community safety that goes right the way back throughout your soul's history. It's like every lifetime becomes a snapshot that then gets imprinted upon the one that we are in now. Layers of a book, pages of a book. And as we hold space for the emotional energy to clear and then back up through the entire brain. And now we're just focusing really on all, not just this lifetime, but where did this trigger from? Maybe you've always had something from the day you were born that's been in the background and it's became the norm. This feeling, this sensation, this frequency And we're allowing now you to notice that maybe it wasn't even from this life, and we're allowing it to go back through. So there was lots of times within our history where we had to keep our voice shut down through fear of being killed from what we would speak, from fear of being rejected from communities. Just allow any of that energy to, once you are aware of it, once you intend for it, you might notice certain parts of the brain start to light up, that there might be a resistance in certain areas. Some of us were classed as those people that did get rejected out, and we would walk, and we would have to continue walking throughout our lives. And there would always be someone in our group that would keep watch while we slept. And there was a stressfulness to that. There was never anywhere that was really home or really a base. And it was always that feeling of someone's coming. Have a see if that frequency is in there, because this really causes a stress on the nervous system. And again, we thank the body because this kept us safe. In many lifetimes, this would have kept us very safe. But now we are ready to fully transmute this energy, taking it as crystallized wisdom. And you might feel there's certain pressures in the brain and then down even through the stem of the brain that goes right through the part of the brain that deals with the heartbeat, the breathing, the stuff that we're unconscious of, the nervous system, all those cords that go down the brain, from the brain down the neck through the spine. And as we start to look at it more of a big whole now of the brain and how it's connecting with its pathways that signal to the heart, to the lungs, to the blood pressure, all these things interlinked through the emotions, through the feeling of having to be aware all the time of your safety. And as we allow now the divine intelligence of the body, of the brain cells, of the nerve cells to let go. So we're going to feel into the compounded stress, emotional, mental energy. And as soon as you bring that awareness, you might notice it's gone even tighter now. It's like, I want to feel the compounded stress, emotional, mental energy that has been impacted on my system, on the blueprint of my body throughout these experiences. And it'll feel tight. And that tightness now, we're going to let the body know it is safe to let go of this now. And we command the body. So if it's not letting go, I command the body now. I command the cells. Let go of the compounded stress that is accumulated through my nervous system. And it'll be this feeling of opening, of expansion. And it's like those pages of a book that have been compressed together. It's like we're allowing the air to flow through the pages. And it's opening up. And everything that kept you bound, that kept you compressed, that kept you on edge, in stress, in survival, we're allowing it now to open up and expand out. As we command the body, you might notice different areas through the spine are still holding on. Command the body. I command you, let go now. I am safe. I am safe. I am safe. I am free. I command the body to dissolve, digest the compounded stress that is built up. And as we hold on to any of the areas of pressure, you'll notice this expansion. It's like you'll just expand and expand and expand. And those areas that have been trodden, that have been imprinted over and over and over and over again, we're allowing them to open up. And as we open up, you might feel that awareness come through. There might be a wash or a quick flash of emotions as they come out, of thoughts. And it's that feeling like it doesn't even matter anymore. As we take the wisdom from these events, but do we allow the energetic imprint of the emotional energy, of the mental energy to dissipate, to dissolve, to evaporate out of the body, out of the nervous system? And it just feels like this forever expansion out of those areas, and just keep allowing them to expand through the brain, through the nervous system. And we're feeling especially through the main pathways, from the brain signaling down to the heart, to the lungs. And we can feel directly now into that stem of energy that comes out of the brain, that huge stem of all those nerves that travel down. So this is where everything has been. It's like that highway of electricity that's been imprinted and imprinted and imprinted. And we're going to do more work on this area. It's like we can almost hold our awareness, our consciousness on those cords, those neural pathways. And as you hold your awareness on there, you might start to notice, wow, I can feel stressed again. I can feel my heart starting to beat faster. There's something there in the background that's still there. And again, we're going to feel the energy. And then we're going to command the body as we bring forward the compounded stress, emotional, mental energies that have collected in these neural pathways. And we command now, it is safe. Let go, let go, let go. As we allow that expansion, commanding the cells. The body is your universe. And as we allow the higher consciousness of who you are to take charge, to take control in a way that serves the body. And there's a lot of energy that would have been spent from holding on to this energy. And again, we're just letting it come out. And you might start to notice it's actually starting to come out around you. Just do a nice breath to let it really dissipate out. We can direct the energy that's coming out off into the sun, away out of our auric field. If we don't fully flush it out of the aura, it's going to start getting stuck in our auric field, causing issues later on. So we're allowing a full clearing through from the flesh through into the aura. And we're going to go deeper now. So we can feel now through the brain. Now it's starting to feel a lot clearer. Have a little scan through the brain. You might even notice it might even be a little bit right in the center there that's still quite stressed. And again, just that command. I notice it. I can feel what is held. And I no longer wish to hold on to this. I command that it dissolve, digest, disintegrate. And we're just washing it out. And we've got the throat highlighted, so we're going to allow the throat to just open out as well. The words that were held in, held back, through allowing yourself not to have confrontation with someone, to choose the easier pathway, the safe pathway, but it blocked you. It held energy in your throat. It may have stopped the argument. It may have stopped, even in different lifetimes, it may have stopped you being killed, to hold back your truth. But we're allowing now this energy that is accumulated around the throat. But we can feel all the emotional energy with that too, and all the mental energy of holding back all those mental thoughts, those feelings, those intentions that you just wanted to say so much. And again, we're going to relax, bring the energy through the throat, commanding the cells of the throat, of the voice, of the glands, even the chakra. I am safe. I command the energy now to digest, disintegrate, and dissolve out of my body, out of my throat. And we're allowing this nervous system to reset too. It's a dropping out. And as we drop out, we're receiving more energy of the pure energy we tuned into at the start. That stillness, that certainty, that calmness, that purity of the self. Before any, it's almost like before any even incarnations. Pure peace. And we're allowing us to wash now through the brain and down through the throat. And if you're still feeling this, almost like there's lumps of energy in there, allow this beautiful purity energy to purify around those areas. And again, you're holding space for yourself. That empathy for self. Only you can fully understand what you went through, why you behaved that way, why you didn't speak out, why it was for the highest good at that point. And we're allowing you now to hold that empathy to the self. You can even look back at the memory and be like, this version of you here today, going into that memory and be like, wow, I see everything you went through. And you know what? It's okay to let go of that now. And it's like you're holding space for that version of you, whether it be yesterday, last week, last month, last year, lifetimes ago. We're holding space for that version of you in the past with pure acceptance. Recognizing everything they went through with a higher understanding, because they are you and only you know exactly what they experienced. And we're going to drop our awareness now from the throat into the heart. And it's already started to clear a lot of energies already as we've reset through the brain. We've allowed a beautiful, more of a calmer signal to come from the brain down to the heartbeat. Now the heart has certain cells. There's a patch within the heart that starts the ripple of the beat that communicates to the entire whole of the heart, that allows it to contract. And it's right near the top. So whether you know exactly where it is or not, it's just feel into where are those where is that electrical signal going right into my heart? And think of it, this is where in the heart, every time you've been stressed, it's like a punch. It's that punch that hits the heart. That initial signal that gets sent from the brain to increase the beat of the heart. I'm not safe, or I'm stressed. This patch of the heart gets it first. And we're going to start feeling into that, into those cells where that signal has punched into them many, multiple times. More times than we could ever count. And we're relaxing into that patch at the top of the heart first. And we're softening the signal, utilizing that frequency from the higher self connection, the purity frequency of harmony, of calm. It's like stress doesn't even exist within that frequency. And we're allowing that to travel down. So it's like every little signal that causes the beat of the heart, we're allowing that signal to soften into this purity, into this calmness. I almost see it like a white flame as a little beat, as a little ignite of light, a spark. And as we soften that spark, that beat, that signal from the nervous system into the heart, we can start feeling into the heart as an entirety. And we can notice now the stress it's been holding through those muscle fibers. And again, we're going to relax into this. And you might feel yourself feeling stressed, just feel it into the heart. But again, we're going to command the body. We're going to command these beautiful heart cells that you are safe now. As we command for the compounded stress to digest, disintegrate, and dissolve out of the heart cells. As we expand the heart. And as we expand the heart, it's like this blossoming of energy. And when you feel into the purity of a rose in its petals, how they can break really easily. But what a shame it would be if those petals, if that rose didn't open. And it's that same sensation with the heart. That feeling of allowing it to open fully. And as it opens, as it blossoms, that blossoming energy now to overtake your entire frequency of your aura. And it's like the heart's blossoming and it's allowing the auric field to blossom around you. And again, it's that vulnerability, a pure open heart. That vulnerability, that trust in I am safe, I am free. And when we think of a rose, we'd never smell the fragrance if that bud didn't open. And it's like that for the soul. If the heart doesn't fully open, we can't enjoy the fragrance of your soul within the collective consciousness as part of our community. As we blossom open. And allow that connection to self, to your own blossoming energy, like it's growing roots now through the entire nervous system of the body, to the tips of your fingers, the tips of the toes. And it's that intention of I am allowing myself to blossom. And that may be vulnerable. That may feel unsafe from energies of the past, but I'm in full trust. That the present moment is all that exists. And in this present moment, I truly blossom. And you'll notice now as we blossom out through the aura, we're cleansing the aura naturally. We're allowing this flow. The toroidal field of the heart now is expanding wider below you, above you, around you. You're becoming like this indentation within the matrix where it creates that vortex, where it warps to you. And this is where we can start to warp the collective consciousness. It's almost like a planet, how it would warp time and space. And then that vortex of its consciousness then allows moons or other planets to spin around it or come towards it. And as you allow yourself to imprint within the vortex of the matrix of life itself, this is where we can really utilize into manifesting as well. That energy as it dips around your consciousness, as you blossom, as you create that imprint within creation itself, within life itself. Allowing them, this is how things naturally magnetize to you. There's no force, there's no needing to chase anything. It falls, it rolls to you with ease and grace. These are the coincidences that just naturally happen. The perfect people that just arrive. The situations, the events, the knowledge, that book, that movie, that song line, everything that just is always bringing through that coincidence, that brings through that higher awareness, that allows you to know that everything is just falling into place. And when you even think of the word falling, there's no effort. When you fall, there's no effort there. as if you were to fall back into the waters of your own consciousness, trusting that the water of your subconscious, your soul, holds you, like falling back into that ocean and trusting that you will float. And if you move, if you struggle, if you try and stay above water, sometimes it makes you sink. But if you breathe and you surrender, you float. And as we allow ourselves now to float in the liquid-like consciousness of our own souls, feeling into the vastness, a pure ocean of self. And this part of you, this consciousness, this body, is but a tiny fragment of who you are in the vast scheme of reality. And as we feel into the enormity of your potential, of the miracle consciousness that flows through you, that is you, allowing this to stretch right out far and wide, beyond the horizon and beyond, as far as your consciousness can stretch in every direction. And then we're going to ignite around us like a ring of fire, creation itself, life itself, that trust that in every direction you are supported by creation. Life supports you, your soul supports you. And all you have to do is lean back and trust. We're going to allow now this drawing in energy to come back into the physical body, allowing a wash through of the cells that have materialized for this lifetime, washing it through, and it's like this smile, this acceptance of this body, this life, right through, washing through the layers of your aura, infusing through into the cells, through the cell membranes, right through into the nucleus, right through into your own genetic makeup, the DNA, and even the fabric of the DNA that goes through into light itself, into energy itself, back through into the soul, as within, so without. That vast consciousness that is all around you sits right inside the genetics, in the DNA, in the fabric of your soul consciousness, as it radiates in you, out you, throughout you. Yet you are whole, you are full, you are complete. There is nothing lacking. Pure wholeness. And you could be nothing else but wholeness. And we're going to relax into that wholeness for a moment. And let's send a ripple out as each of us feel that wholeness within us, radiating around us and through us, as we accept our own souls, our own bodies, our own lives. And as we bring through this acceptance, this wholeness, this completeness within us, we're going to echo this out as a ripple throughout the collective consciousness, through our suburbs, through our area, through our country, through our world. And as the consciousness ripples through the ground, through the waterways, allowing every tree to be a signal that ripples through the air, every blade of grass to hum that signal out into the into the ethers. And as it radiates out now through the rock, through the waters, out into the air, out through into the filament around the earth, it's almost like those cell membranes. And as we echo it through the membrane that surrounds the entire planet, out into the outer universe, as that cell that's became aware, that's became conscious, that knows that it is whole, knows it is complete, as a signal out there to all others to recognize the gift of self. We're going to draw our consciousness back to us now. And it's like as we draw our awareness back to this body, through this breath, into our hearts, keeping that expansion, but allowing it to embody, connected to the stillness of your soul. And then doing one big, huge breath to flush through, to feel back through into your hands, back through into your feet.